just a few short weeks ago when I first met you. And on that day, we watched Tom uncover this bundle of eggs and drop them into his tank. Since then, we've watched as those fish have grown and developed. We've talked about what the fish need to survive, what special adaptations they have. We've gone out and visited several rivers. We've heard from a lot of guest speakers along the way. We visited the aquarium of the bay. We heard from the American Fisheries Society. We've heard from biologists. We've had Derek, our creek biologist, answer a lot of our questions. And we've spent a lot of time talking about things that, well, you and I can do to help fish survive. Today, we're going to be joining Tom as he gathers his fish out of his tank and takes them out to the Dutchbill Creek, which is a tributary of the Russian River, and we're going to say goodbye to our fish. They're going to go out into the mainstream of the river and then hopefully out in the ocean, and maybe if we're lucky, we'll see them in a few years when they return. There's one thing we're going to end with, and that is I'm going to tell you the one thing that's most important for you to do to ensure the survival of the fish. But for now, let's go join Tom. Are you ready for us, Tom?
I'm ready for you, Ethan, and thanks again for the introduction. Well, hello, welcome to Tank Time with Tom. This is our final episode, and I'm really excited today because we have a tank full of healthy steelhead fry, and we're going to package them up and head out to Dutchbill Creek, which is out in Occidental, and we're going to release them, and we're going to show you that in just a few minutes. But before we do that, the one thing that I really want to emphasize here is, you know, the steelhead fry had to have a very specific habitat and living conditions in order to survive and do as well as they did. It's not too complicated, but you know, there's some basic things: cold, clear water, food, the right temperature, and you know, not too much light, some protection, things that are natural that we also need ourselves to some level. And also remember that you have an impact on that environment for yourselves, for the fish, for wildlife, for nature, for other people. So it's our job in the end to be caretakers, not only for ourselves, but on the bigger whole, for the wildlife around us and for the world around us. I am going to show you how we're going to take the fry out of the tank. So hang on and we'll have some fun. Thanks. So as I mentioned, we have some equipment laid out here. Most importantly here's our permit. Okay, that has to go with us to the release site, and we have to fill out all the details and send it to Department of Fish and Wildlife within 14 days of the release. I've got a little bit bigger net because I like to use that for both getting the steelhead fry out of the tank. It's a little bit easier. And also I'll use it to scoop up macroinvertebrates when we get out to the creek. And hopefully there'll be some out there and I can show you those. We've got an eye loop, magnifying glass, so that we can look at those macroinvertebrates close up. It's very cool. A dropper here. If there's any dead fry, we can remove them with that. Sometimes I'll use the lid for the bucket as a kind of a display area for the macroinvertebrates. But it's actually a little bit, that's more for putting over the bucket when we transport. Okay, I've got a tube that I use to suck water out of the tank. I've got a couple of clips to hold the tube against the bucket. We've got some protection for COVID. Okay, a couple cups for the fry. And if you're a teacher, you're gonna have a lot of cups because each kid's gonna wanna release their own. And then what I usually bring too is a small bucket like this, small container, and I'll put the macroinvertebrates in there. Or we can put fry in there. It's kind of nice to see them swim around and you know, get a closer look. All right, so next we're gonna go into the tank and I'll show you how we actually remove the steelhead fry. Here we are. We are ready to remove some fry. So what I've got is a siphon hose to remove some water from the tank into our 5-gallon bucket. And I'm gonna get some water in there first, and then I'm gonna go into the tank and scoop up the fry and put them in the bucket. We have some healthy fry in our 5-gallon bucket. These are all just netted from our tank. And as you can see, I still have the siphon tube hooked up. And if we look at the tank, it's about halfway full. Take a look and maybe count how many steelhead fry we have. We're getting pretty full. This is probably more water than we need, but there's plenty of water in there, and most of the water is out of the tank. So let's go ahead and remove the tube. I'll close the bucket, and I'll probably see you in the car. We have arrived. I'm here with Carl from Russian River Fly Fishers, and Carl's going to help us with the release. He's got the bucket of parts that we need to help measure the temperature and get the fish in the water. And I'm going to show you these happy steelhead. I've got them in this bucket here. There are permits. All right, so we're going to go downstream side, get them in the water so they can cool off. Welcome to Tank Time with Tom. We are stream side on this beautiful Dutch Bill Creek out in Occidental. It's an absolutely gorgeous day, and Carl's helping me out. Carl's checking the temperature just to see how close the temperature in the bucket is to the temperature in the water. And that's a good thing too. You know, you don't want to shock the fish going from hot to cold or cold to hot. But this is the area that we're in. It's absolutely beautiful up here. We're on Dutch Bill Creek. They've done a bunch of restoration work on here, and it's absolutely beautiful. This used to be a lake, if you can believe it. And years ago, they came in and tore the dam out and added some structure, and it's back to natural. And there's a pool right about where I'm pointing. If you look really hard, there's a few fish jumping in there and feeding. So we know there's some fish in here. But we're gonna let our guys go in this little creek here. And as I mentioned earlier, we are stewards of the land. So it's our duty to make sure this remains clean forever and ever so that we can have healthy water, so that we can have healthy fish. And we're gonna go in and take another, let me do a quick peek. Look at those guys. There's some happy steelhead. And the water temperature and the temperature in the bucket now has stabilized. It's in the 60s, which is actually a little bit warm, but there is a cooler, deeper pool here. So we hope that this is where the fry will hang out, and they've got a lot of protection in the structure, which is really, really important, okay? So what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of water to a cup. This is similar to what you're gonna do in your classroom. And I'm going to go ahead and net a steelhead, and we'll drop him in the cup, and he's floating around. And I'm going to come up there and show you. There he is. Wow. Okay, so when you were in the classroom, you're going to go ahead and get your fish, make a wish.
Glad we got to watch you grow from YouTube. Good luck on your journey into the big world. Wish we had more time to enjoy your visit with the class.
Live long and prosper to this guy. And you want to take it and gently lower it and release it into the creek. Bye-bye. And take a look at them. They don't seem to be too shocked. They seem very comfortable. They're just loving this new environment.
Leave, leave, away you go. Off to bear hardships like snow. Jump rocks, get big and strong. You'll need to be in case things go wrong. Safe trip, my steelhead fish, 'cause your safety is my greatest wish.
Now I'm just going to take the bucket and I'm going to gently pour these in. There they go, and they're all out. What is your fish wish? Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay safe, keep the world clean, and get outside.
I want to thank you for joining us these past weeks. We've had a lot of fun creating these videos for you. Now, we all do this work because we believe that good habitat is as important for people as it is for fish. Now, over the past weeks, you've met many of us on the production crew, but there's a few more that are behind the scenes, not in front of the camera, and I want to take a few minutes and show you all the people who have helped put this together just for you. There's our crew, and that whole bunch of fish that you saw get released into the Russian River this week. I hope you continue to learn about fish. I've been learning about them for more than 20 years and I haven't stopped. I hope you continue to go out and do things to help improve and keep their habitat clean. But the most important thing you can do is simply go outside. Just enjoy hiking, biking, swimming, kayaking, boating, fishing, whatever it is. Remember, it's not enough to fight for the land and the water, we have to enjoy it. And you know what? Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll see you out on the water someday. See you soon!
And of course, we couldn't end it without a big wave goodbye from Stella. Bye-bye.